Hey y'all, how's it going? Hope everyone's doing super awesome today. Welcome to Zahatka. My name is Valentina, and today I'll be showing you a tutorial of how to sew a bucket hat. Super cute. I made this out of a thrifted blanket. And so if you're ready to see and learn how to make one of these little bucket hats, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you'd like, and let's go! So we know the first step is always to choose what fabric you want to work with. And here I chose a thrifted quilt, and this had already batting in it. So I didn't use any kind of interfacing or batting or anything like that because it was thick enough on its own and it would stand up. But you can use, if you have thinner fabrics, you can either quilt it or you can use interfacing like the fusible interfacing. But as you can see in these clips, I'm just cutting all the fabrics that I'll need for the outside of the hat, and I'm doubling up on each one of them except the circle. So this is all the pieces that I have, and then I'm gonna sew straight lines to connect the two pieces. So the two halves, they're gonna make a circle, and I'm just connecting those, and then I cut out the liner for the inside. And I'm just using the same pieces and I'm just going over it and cutting two of each and one circle. Then I also sew together the lining, just the straight lines to form the two halves into a circle, just like I did with the outer piece. And then I get all my pieces and I find the middles, the center of everything, and cut little corners so I know where the center is. Now it's time to piece everything together so we can sew the hat. The first step is to get your top circle piece and attach it to that middle piece, pretty side to pretty side, on both the liner and on the outside piece, and just sew all around. And on the outer layer, I also did a top stitch right away. And the top stitch goes where you attached the circle to so that top circle to that middle layer. Then we're gonna sew together the rim, and what you're gonna do is put pretty side to pretty side the rim liner and the rim outer piece, and you're gonna clip it together and sew along all around the bottom of the rim. Just make a circle like that I'm motioning. Once you sew that circle along the bottom of the rim, flip it right side out and iron it down so that seam is laying flat, and then do a top stitch on the right side. Once you have that top stitch on the rim, you're going to sew together the liner of the top piece to the rim, and you're going to put the rim inside of the liner. So you're going to turn the liner right outside in, and then stuff the rim inside of there with the liner touching the liner, and the outside, the pretty side, the right side being on the outside, just like it is in the video right there. And then after you sew that liner and the rim together, you're going to get the outside piece of the hat, that top part, and put it inside of that piece. So you're going to turn it right side out, and you're going to put the right side to the right side. So pretty side to pretty side. And what you should be seeing is the liner on the outside and the liner on the inside, just like that, sandwiched. And here you're also going to leave like a 2-inch gap so you can turn your hat right side out after you're done sewing the circle all around. Once you sew that circle all around, you have that 2-inch to 1-inch gap, and you're going to just turn your project right side out through that gap. And then the last part is either sewing or gluing that opening together. So you can either do a top stitch all around where that opening is, where you turn the project right side out, or you can glue it with fabric glue or super glue, and your bucket hat will be done. Now, before this video ends, I did want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch and letting me be a part of your day. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and it was helpful for you and you can make your own bucket hat now. If you did find this useful, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and all that good stuff that helps me out. And I really hope to see you again next time. Bye!